stay on with us. Let me bring in our guests who are joining us this afternoon as well. We have lawyer and political analyst Kapil Madan. We also have a lawyer from the Supreme Court, Ashutosh Srivastava. Good to have both of you on the broadcast with us. Ashutosh, let me begin with you first. Was it warranted or was it excessive? That really has been the debate as far as those strong words that we heard from the top court the first time around. Is this plea maintainable? Let's begin with that as far as Nupur Sharma is concerned.
First to begin with, if anybody is saying anything against a religion, it is not at all acceptable in this country. Obviously, that's a different issue. And accordingly, the FIRs have been registered.
But that
and
has
the matter
been
is
discussed.
under
There was action
investigation.
taken by a political party also. That's a separate issue.
Yes,
Let's focus on what's taking place as far as the top court is concerned.
Now, when we talk about the legality of it, now, there is a provision, section 223 in the Criminal Procedure Code, which says that a person should not be prosecuted for the same offense by different courts and by different, police stations registering different FIRs. So, in previous instances also, Supreme Court has clubbed these kind of FIRs being registered in different states for the same set of an offense being alleged to have been committed by any accused. And if we see even, Babulal versus the state of Gujarat, which was decided by the Supreme Court in 2010, in which the Supreme Court has clarified that position also, that there should not be multiple FIRs being registered for the same offense, and this requires to be clubbed. However, in this matter, the court will see further the merit of this particular case, and previously also considering the merits of the previous cases, Supreme Court had decided accordingly. So there is a provision, no doubt, for clubbing of the FIR, but now it is up to the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court to decide on that. See what happens if any crime is alleged to have happened or committed by any accused. The FIR is generally registered at the police station where under whose jurisdiction the crime has alleged to have happened. Now, in this case, since it was a debate on the news channel, and it is very difficult to ascertain any particular place in whose police station jurisdiction it happened. So, since it was aired and accordingly, whoever watched that interview registered the FIR as per wherever the person has watched that news piece, and accordingly the FIRs have been registered. Now, as a matter of fact, and the legality involved into it, there cannot be separate and different prosecutions for the same offense alleged to have happened. Obviously, if somebody has committed a crime, the person needs to be prosecuted under that section in a particular jurisdiction where it has happened, or maybe clubbing all these FIRs together at one place, and then the trial can be continued. Now, if a person who has been
so you're essentially saying if the allegation is the same, then a clubbing of these FIRs can take place. Okay, so we'll really have to see how that moves, but I want to bring in Kapil Madan as well. Kapil Madan, the other big question that is being raised over the last couple of weeks is that with that very strong criticism that came from the Supreme Court, where one of the observations that were made was that whatever happened in Udaipur, where we saw that very unfortunate barbaric beheading, that was because of the comments that were made by Nupur Sharma. So was this actually an overreach as far as the Supreme Court is concerned?
Let us see, Ridhimaji, understand the backdrop of the entire circumstances in which this observation was made. Now, you may recall when this incident happened, there was no apology, there was no repentance offered by Nupur Sharma, and it was only after the backlash that happened from the Gulf countries, and after the termination, the termination of Nupur Sharma by Bharatiya Janata Party, only thereafter an apology was sought. And you must also remember, Nupur Sharma publicly also in one of the interview made a remark that she is getting support from higher ups, be it Home Ministry. She also mentioned about Devendra Fadnavis. So the point I'm trying to make here is that when you are in a public space, when you hold a political position, then you should be absolutely careful in what you are saying, because your words will be imputed to the party that you will represent. And in this situation, it is the ruling party
No, but
that is.
Kapil, that's where it becomes problematic, right? So action had already been taken against Nupur Sharma. The party had already suspended her from the primary membership. She was no more the spokesperson.
Yeah.
And the government also made its position very, very clear. There was a legal action that was taking place as well. But when you liken the barbaric act that took place in broad daylight in Udaipur, it's almost giving a clean sheet that somebody makes a comment and it's okay to go and behead somebody then. That's where it became problematic. But I'll just come back to our guests in just a bit. Siddhant continues to be with us. Siddhant, do we have an update as far as the Supreme Court is concerned?
Well, that's correct. So, Mr. Singh, Nupur Sharma's advocate, is making a point in the Supreme Court, his point in the Supreme Court, that first FIR is in Delhi, criminal allegation is the same, it is the same telecast of program is the subject matter. And in fact, her lawyer is also saying this in court, that new FIRs and complaints are also stayed. So, in such cases, going by the past instances, the fresh FIRs and complaints were also stopped by Supreme Court's intervention. So the similar is the demand this time around, and right now the judges are discussing something. Okay. This is what Ananya is reporting. So basically, as our esteemed guests were also highlighting, that there cannot be multiple trials for one alleged offence, and in fact section 20 subsection 2 of the Constitution gives protection from multiple trial. And last time also, if you remember, that there was an open letter which was written to the Chief Justice by concerned citizens, former judges, civil servants and veterans, and in that also this point was highlighted, that this is a fundamental right of anyone to move Supreme Court and ask for clubbing of FIR. And in fact, those who fall on the other side of the political equilibrium were also not very happy with the way Supreme Court, where the hearing was conducted last time in Nupur Sharma's case.
So the judges are currently discussing. We'll have to see what update comes as far as that proceeding is concerned. But let me continue the conversation with our guest. Ashutosh, the other problematic issue is that these were only observations. They never made it as far as the final order is concerned. So the problem was that there was already a sense of possibly coloring what the legal outcome could be as the investigation goes on.
Yeah. The question is not whether the accused has committed a crime or not. That is obviously under investigation, and it is being investigated by the concerned police stations where the FIRs have been registered. Now, without going into deep into the merits of the case about the alleged offense being committed by the accused, now the question is whether she should be prosecuted multiple times for the same set of offense for which the FIR has been registered at different places. The law says no to it. This is what the law is about, because you cannot prosecute a person who has alleged an offense multiple times at different places. So that is the crux of the matter here. So far as speaking legally, obviously the court see now whether it should allow the clubbing of the FIRs, because even if she has to apply for any sort of relief or for bail or anything, so she will have to file to all these places where the FIRs are registered. So that is what, and if we see the previous precedents of the Supreme Court, and also if it is in a one particular state, then the High Court, that they have considered such kind of petitions. I don't know as to what will happen here. It will also depend on the merit of this particular case. But as a matter of fact, and considering the legality, it will be convenient even for the investigating agencies that if it is clubbed together and they do the proper investigation, and then they submit the charge sheet against the accused.
Yeah, that's actually the question that I was getting to. That won't it actually streamline the process even for the agencies themselves if they have just one to look into if the allegation is actually the same, whereas across FIRs. But I'll just request Ashutosh to stay on with us. Kapil, leaving the legal aspect aside, there is also another aspect as far as the right to safety for Nupur Sharma is involved. While